Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. If today no good, tomorrow go better. Cause life is beautiful. I'm a low, I'm a bimo, I'm a collie, I'm a shayo mayo. We go better in any kind of weather. I'm a jerry.
Hello guys, this is Olayemi Dear Corolla Daniels, popularly known as Dear Co Spectre, and this is another episode of Dear Co Talks Law. And on today's episode of Dear Co Talks Law, we'll be talking about the law of nuisance. But before we go into what we have today, if this is your first time of coming to my channel, then I want to say a very big welcome.
You're living large, I get and hustle for my ghetto. Never forget where I come from, not from ghetto. No. I just want to say thank you,
So make sure that you click the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so that anytime I release subsequent videos, you are going to get the notification and all that. So now moving into what we have today. Basically, we are talking about the law of nuisance. And I know that for the people that are watching me today, one of the reasons you are watching this video could be because you just want to know the meaning of nuisance. I mean, a lot of people say you are a nuisance, you are this, you are that, you have big men that will just shout, you're a nuisance, get out of my front. And most times we do not know the legal implication of calling somebody nuisance. What does it mean, or what has the person done in fact that makes him a nuisance? Or your friends does or say something and then you're like, you are constituting nuisance and all that and all that and all that. The second set of people that are here are those who are, studying thoughts and they want to pass the exam. Only business concerning nuisance is Baba, I just won't pass and stuff like that. But it's fine, I'm going to explain it all. So we're talking about nuisance. I'm going to explain, but first of all, I want to start with the cases because it's actually very, very important. Note that nuisance is a tort, and since it's a tort, most of the principles we have are not gotten from statutes. They are principles that were evolved by the courts. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, nuisance in itself was evolved by the courts. So I'm not going to start with what were the English cases that involved the law of nuisance because they are no longer as relevant, because we already have Nigerian cases that discuss nuisance. Do you understand? So now, when we are talking about nuisance, let us start with the first case of Abiola versus Ijoma. Now, in the case of Abiola versus Ijoma, the court held that a nuisance is any unreasonable interference with another person in the use and enjoyment of his land or right attached to it. Do you understand? Now, I'm still going to explain what that means, but let us go to the next case of Tebite versus Nigeria Marine and Trading Company, where the court defined a nuisance to be any conduct that interferes with the conveniences and comfort of the public or a section of it. Now, the reason I need to define this principle, that is nuisance, according to those judges, is so that you can understand that, it is not just me talking. This is what the court has held. Do you understand? Now, let me explain it in such a way that you are going to understand. Now, let us say we have party A and we have party B. Do you understand? Now, party A went to court and told the court that party B is causing him inconveniences. Do you understand? Now, let us say party A is the owner of a particular house and party B likes playing music, midnight, do you understand? Now, he could not sleep in his house because of the noise that party B is making. Do you understand? Now, he's telling the court that party B is causing him inconveniences. And now, what is party B doing? Is conduct. So party B's conduct is causing him inconveniences. Therefore, he's suing under nuisance. Do you understand? When a particular conduct made by a particular person is causing inconveniences for another person, then that is going to be, nuisance. And that is how the law of nuisance evolved. So in law of nuisance, you must have two parties. Do you understand? And then there must be inconvenience on one part due to the conduct of the other person on the other part. Do you understand? Then you are going to have the law of nuisance. Now, when you are talking about the law of nuisance, you need to know two things. The first thing is gotten from the Latin maxim governing nuisance, and that is sic utere tuo ut alienum non laedas. That Latin maxim is very long, and I'm not a Latin person, so now that exactly is the Latin maxim, and I'm very sure it is showing on the screen right now. Now, what does the Latin maxim mean? It means that a person is supposed to use his property so as not to injure the other person. Do you understand? Injure or inconvenience the other person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Party B is supposed to use his house or his property in such a way as not to injure or inconvenience or discomfort party A use of his own property. Do you understand? That is the law of nuisance, and that is the Latin maxim that I spoke earlier. Another thing that you need to know is that there has to be a balance. Do you understand? Now, when you are talking about the law of nuisance, especially when they come to court, the court is going to balance the conduct of party A to the inconvenience of party B. Do you understand? People usually argue that it is my property and therefore I can do what I like on my property. Do you understand? So, for example, I'm the owner of my house, party B is the owner of his house. If he wants to blast music, he can blast music. Nobody gave him money to buy the house and all that. However, the law would have to balance party B's right to use his property as against party A's right of convenience on his own property as well. So basically, I have told you the definition of nuisance by Abiola and Ijoma, and the case of Tepite versus Nigerian Marine Trading Co. You can also see the case of Water and Selfie, and also the case of Adeniro versus Interland Transport Limited. In those cases, they also defined nuisance as well. I also told you about the Latin maxim that said that you should use your property in such a way that you would not injure others, which is very, very important. And then people said, it is my property, therefore I can use it the way I want. Yes, you can use your property the way you want. However, you have to balance that usage with the other person's inconvenience. Do you understand? Make sure that your usage does not affect the convenience of another person. So, for example, I spoke about noise earlier. Now, I want to give another example on poultry. Somebody is rearing chickens. Like, when I mean chicken, I don't mean 2, 3. I mean in thousands. I know that thing could be disgusting at times for people that, pass that particular place. So, now you are now rearing that thing in a residential area. So, I wake up in the morning, smell. I want to sleep, smell. I want to eat, smell. Babe cannot come to my house, smell. Ha! Do you understand what I'm saying? So now in that particular instance, will we say that the person is the owner of his land, and he decides that he wants to use this particular land to rear chicken. So why should I stop him? Is it right for me to stop him because it is disturbing me? I cannot sleep because of smell. I cannot eat because of smell. You know how disgusting smell can be that is going to irritate me and make me lose appetite. So, and this is my house, a place where I'm supposed to feel comfortable, but I can't feel comfortable because of the smell that is being emitted from that poultry farm. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is where the court will now have to balance. You see, balancing the conduct of one person from the inconvenience of another is the whole problem that nuisance is talking about. That balancing is the whole problem. So the first thing you need to know about balancing is this conduct. Is it such that it is reasonable in a particular community for you to do it? That is like, there's no test for it, but that is like one of the pointers. That's like a pointer for you to know whether a conduct will amount to nuisance. That particular conduct, is it such that a reasonable person can do it? Another time, I was talking about noise, and I told you that B is blasting music every time, and then A said that I cannot sleep because of the music that B was blasting. Now let us go to areas like Ajegunle or Mushin, or all those very ras areas in Lagos. And if you don't live in Lagos, you know wherever you are in the city that you are, you know that there are some places where noise is their way of life. You have not lived if you have not made noise. So they love noise. Early in the morning like this, hey, you understand what I'm talking about? So they love noise. In the night, where in a typical residential area, like people that live on the island and the rest, in a typical residential area, 9 p.m. is like 3 a.m. Do you understand? Because everywhere is already dark. For some people, 9 p.m. you are just starting the day, especially when you are in students. And then you just want to stroll down with your friends. 9 p.m. is like the day begins to set around that 11:30 thereabout. Then yes, you know that you have to go back to your hostel. But 9 p.m. is like our starting time. So now we are talking about areas where they love noise, and 11 p.m. that music is just blasting. Now in those kind of areas, when you are blasting music, can you sue that person for nuisance? So location matters when you are talking about nuisance. You see, these are things that I'm going to be talking about when I'm speaking about public and private nuisance. Do you understand? Nuisance is divided into two: public nuisance and private nuisance. So the part B, that's part 2 of this particular video, is going to be on public nuisance, while the part 3 is going to be on private nuisance. Do you understand? So while we are talking about nuisance and the balancing, I want you to also look at the case of Seli Denfield versus Okalaha, where Lord Wright said that a balance has to be maintained between the right of the occupier to do what he likes with his own and the right of his neighbor not to be interfered with. That is the balance that I'm talking about. It was this case that Lord Wright spoke about the balance, and then that there must be a balance between one person who wants to use his property the way he likes and the other person who doesn't want inconveniences from other people, which he has the right to. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then Lord Wright continued and said that it is impossible to give a precise or universal formula, but it may be broadly said that a useful test is perhaps what is reasonable. So you cannot say that this is the test for you to determine what nuisance is. However, what is reasonable according to the ordinary usage of mankind in that particular society. So in a place like Ajegunle, if you are blasting music or Mushin around 10 p.m., it is their normal way of life. But in a place like Lekki, you can't even blast music anyhow. Your blasting music has to be such that there is a ceremony. That. Also look at the case of Kenway versus Thompson. Kenway versus Thompson, where the court said that it must appear to me that the affairs of life in advanced neighborhood cannot be carried out without mutual sacrifices. Now, you know that earlier in the first case, that's Seli Denfield, the court said that one party must use its property in such that it do not affect the other, and therefore there must be a balance. Now you see, this other party is saying, that is the case of Kenway versus Thompson. LJ said that there must be mutual sacrifices, which means it is not everything that somebody has done that you are going to complain about. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is not everything that the particular person is doing that you have to complain about, because you have to. Okay, now let me give a particular example. Now, you are about to drive out of your house. For those of you that have cars, or parents that do have cars, you are about to drive out of your house, and then just as you are about to leave your street, you realize that somebody, while building his house, poured sand in front of that particular house because there was no space to pour it in the house, and then it blocked you from passing. And then because of that, you now had to turn. So instead of you to pass a road that is going to give you 10 minutes, you understand, you have to pass a road that is going to take you 1 hour to get to where you were going to. Do you understand? That is because of the act of one person. Now the question is, can you sue that person because the person made you go through that long stress? Do you understand? That is where the court is. That second case, that's Kenway versus Thompson, the court is now saying you have to look at the mutual sacrifices. That particular thing that the person is doing, is it such that if that person had not left the sand on the road, it would have been impossible for you to complete his building? There are so many questions that you have to ask in relation to nuisance. So in order to understand this topic called nuisance so much, you have to watch what is public nuisance? That particular act that the person did, which is the last example I gave, is an example of public nuisance. That particular act, what are the elements that must be, given or that must be satisfied before we can say that this is public nuisance? And then, what is private nuisance? The two examples I gave earlier as to the inconveniences of party A due to party B's noise or poultry farm are examples of private nuisance. What are the elements of private nuisance? Those are the things you are going to see in subsequent videos. That is part B and part C, or part 2 and part 3 of this particular topic. But before I go, I also want to leave you with another question. Now, a video is going to be showing on the screen right now, where you are going to see girls twerking. For those that are not comfortable with it, I am very, very sorry, but I was not the one that did it, sha. It's a public video where girls were twerking on 3rd Mainland Bridge, and it's because Tekno was making a video for his song, and then I think he was trying to convey those girls from a particular location to another location, and they were twerking on the road. Now, can we say that that twerking is public nuisance? That is the question I want to ask you. You can see girls twerking now, right now. Can we say the twerking in itself is public nuisance? Do you understand? That's the question I'm going to be asking in my next video. So make sure that you stay. Before I release the other video, I want us to discuss in the comment section below. Do you understand? I want us to talk about whether or not this particular act amounts to public nuisance. Some say it's public nuisance, the others say it's not. But let us talk about it in the comment section below. What do you think it is actually? Do you think it's public nuisance, or do you think that it's just something that anybody can do at any point? So make sure you watch the video. Thank you very much for watching. I am Olayemi, dear Kolola Daniels. Make sure you subscribe.